Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to get into this fantastic story that explores a question we all think about. What does it really, truly mean to be fair? So, let's just start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we've all had. You see something happen, maybe on the playground or at the store, and you just get this feeling in your gut that says, hey, that's not right. That feeling? That's exactly what we're talking about today. Okay, so before we dive into our story, let's get on the same page with two really big ideas. There's fairness. That's the simple idea of treating everyone the same, not playing favorites. And then there's justice. That's kind of like fairness in action. It's what we do to make things right. They're like two sides of the same coin, and you need both to build a really good community. All right, let's set the scene. We're heading to a super busy, bustling kingdom where the lives of three very different people are just about to run into each other. So, first up, meet Raja Vikram. And listen, he wasn't just some king with a fancy crown. Nope. He was famous all over the land because he was incredibly wise and always tried to do the right thing. To his people, he was basically the walking, talking symbol of justice. Next, picture the noisy, colorful marketplace. That's where we meet Radha. She's a fruit seller, and she works incredibly hard every single day just trying to make an honest living for her family. And our third character is Ravi. Now, Ravi is a wealthy merchant who's, he's kind of used to getting whatever he wants. He's got this idea in his head that because he has money, the rules that apply to everybody else just don't apply to him. So you've got the wise king, the honest vendor, and the wealthy merchant. What do you think happens when their paths cross? Well, right here in the marketplace, the whole idea of fairness is about to get a major test. So one afternoon, Ravi strolls up to Radha's stall and picks out the very best mangoes she has. But when she tells him the price, he just scoffs. He demands a special discount, not because the price is actually unfair, but just because he thinks he's important enough to deserve one. He just tosses a couple of coins onto her cart, way less than what they cost, and walks away with the fruit. Radha is just left there, totally stunned and upset. And the other vendors, they see the whole thing happen. They all know it's wrong, but Ravi is so powerful and rich that they're all too scared to say anything. But you know how it is in a busy kingdom. Word gets around. The story of what Ravi did travels from stall to stall, through the city streets, and finally, it reaches the one person who isn't afraid of him at all, King Vikram. So, Ravi gets called to the royal court. You'd think he'd be a little sorry, right? Nope. He stands in front of the king, totally arrogant. His defense is basically that he's a big shot merchant, and because of that, he deserves special treatment. But King Vikram's reply is just perfect. It's calm, but it's so powerful. He reminds Ravi that in his kingdom, fairness and justice are the absolute foundation of everything. The law sees everyone as equal. It doesn't matter if you're a rich merchant or a humble fruit seller. And with that, the king gives his verdict. Ravi was ordered to pay Radha every single coin he owed her for the mangoes, plus a little extra for all the trouble and disrespect he showed her. Justice was served. And you can bet the news of the king's decision spread like wildfire. This wasn't just a story about some mangoes anymore. It became a powerful lesson for every single person living in that kingdom. So, what's the big lesson from our story? Well, it's that fairness isn't just for a select few. It's for everybody, whether you're rich or poor. It also shows that treating each other as equals is how you build a strong, happy community. And maybe the biggest lesson of all is that it's so important to stand up against injustice when you see it. Okay, so we've heard the tale of the wise king. Now it's your turn to put on the judge's hat. Let's see if you can spot what's fair and what's not. Ready? All right, first scenario up. Take a look at these two situations with a hotel. Which one do you think is operating fairly? Take a second to think about it. You got it. The answer is B. Real fairness means the rules are the same for everybody. It shouldn't matter how much money you have. Okay, ready for the next one? Here we have two buildings. Which one do you think is designed with justice in mind? This one's a little different, so take a moment. Yep, the just building is the one with the ramp. And this is a really great point. Sometimes justice isn't about treating everyone the exact same. It's about making sure everyone gets a fair chance to participate. And for our last challenge, let's think about what happens when we make a mistake. We've all been there. Which of these reactions is the right one? Of course, it's B. The right and just thing to do is to take responsibility. See, being a fair person isn't just about big decisions. It's also about owning up to our mistakes, even small ones, and saying, I'm sorry. We're going to leave you with this really famous saying to chew on. Justice delayed is justice denied. What do you think that really means? It makes you wonder, if someone has to wait a super long time for a fair outcome, is it really justice at all? It's a great reminder that for fairness to really count, it has to be on time. Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on